Let's talk about the traditional airbrush that you're going to be using. This is called the SP35. The 35 indicates a 0.35 millimeter needle nozzle combination. Now, what you need to remember is when it comes time to replace either the needle or the nozzle, you'll need to use the appropriate size. Those can be purchased from TEMPTU directly. I always recommend having a spare needle and having a spare nozzle in your kit in case of accidents because they do happen sometimes. So I also recommend that you store it in this convenient box to keep all of it safe. It's nice and cushioned and you're safeguarding against any of those accidents. When you take it out of the box though, all you need to do is screw it onto your air hose fitting and you're ready to go. The SP35 actually comes with a couple of attachments that you'll need to know about. Right here, you've got an additional needle cap. This one actually looks like the shape of a crown. And what this is for is a little bit more of an artistic spray pattern. It'll actually come out of the airbrush in more of a starburst spray pattern versus the circular spray pattern of what we use generally in airbrush makeup applications. So if you're wanting to get a little creative and artistic, this is for you. You'll also notice there's a very awkward looking tiny wrench. This wrench does have a purpose. This is going to be used to remove the nozzle when you're cleaning. So we'll get to that in the cleaning section. And then there is a quick connect adapter. If you have a different type of air hose and you want to create a quick connect situation where it just pops in and out of the hose without screwing it onto the fitting, this quick connect will work for that. The SP35 is a dual action airbrush. What that means is there are two actions to get complete operation. First of all, when the air compressor is turned on a dual action airbrush, you actually won't feel any air coming out of the front of the airbrush until you push down on the trigger button right here. Then to release the makeup along with the air, you'll pull back on that trigger button. So it does take two actions to fully operate the SP35 airbrush. This is an airbrush that works for anyone, a new artist, a seasoned artist. But what I will say is if you do intend on getting a little bit more detailed with your application, and if you happen to be a special effects artist, this is going to give you very nice control over the trigger by always having to depress that lever. When you're using the traditional airbrush, you do need to make sure you have some kind of cleaning system in place. The maintenance is very important, so I would recommend having the cleaning kit on hand. In this kit, we've actually included some very important objects. This right here will be your spare vial of cleaner for the airbrush. This is your in case of emergency vial. You've also got the oil to oil certain parts of the airbrush. And there are some cleaning brushes in here as well. They're kind of tucked in there. So I do recommend always keeping this with you. Again, you never know when you'll have a situation that you need to do a deeper clean. So always keep this in your bag. I would also recommend having the cleaning pot on hand. This is a universal cleaning pot that has two different nozzle adapters, one for our pod system and one for our traditional system. And it's amazing for catching the overspray when cleaning.